Great new day to all my self care family and friends. Welcome back to the Room to Breathe podcast. I'm your host, Life Coach 614, and I am so glad that you are here with us today. Jump into today's episode. Just a quick reminder if you're enjoying the vibe, remember to show us some love by tapping the screen, liking, commenting, and of course, sharing the live. Your support helps us to reach more incredible souls on their healing journey. And if we are not friends already, be sure to give us a follow, subscribe to our channel, so that way you will never miss out on any of our upcoming content. I also invite you to visit our website at theselfcareclub.org. We've got some awesome affirmative apparel, motivational merch, and a bunch of free resources designed just for you. Now, remember, no matter what challenges you are facing, you're not alone. We're in this together, supporting and uplifting each other every step of the way. It is time for us to prioritize our well being, to embrace our growth, and find peace in this present moment. So let's get ready to breathe, reflect, and grow together. And remember, green hearts in the chat if you are ready to rise and just make it through the day, right? Let's inspire one another and keep this healing going. All right, guys. So, again, I told y'all we were going to have us a real transparent conversation, y'all. I'm about to let y'all all the way in my business, okay? Today, I want to talk about the day I almost gave it all up, right? And I'm talking about just saying forget this podcast, the website, like just the day I just almost decided to just really walk away and just give it all up, y'all. So I'm gonna share my day with y'all. And I know you're like, it's only 9 something in the morning, coach. Yet listen, I'm gonna keep it real with you. When I say I wanted to quit today, but clearly y'all see me, so I didn't. But when I say I wanted to quit today, it's bigger than just kind of how I woke up feeling this morning. I know we all have those moments where we just want to quit, where we just want to give up, where we want to throw in the towel, right? And some days we're not just being poetic. It's not about reaching back to some moment from, years ago. I'm literally talking about today. Like this moment, before I even press record, I almost just gave it all up. Right. And it's crazy because I woke up today heavy, like not just tired but soul tired, right? Like you ever have one of those mornings where your spirit wakes up before your body and you already feel defeated? Like that was me today. I woke up and immediately I started thinking of this endless list of things that I needed to do. My notifications were screaming. The expectations felt like weights on my chest. And the voice in my head was just like, what's the point? Nobody really cares. You keep pouring and pouring into this, but who's pouring into you? Who's filling your cup up? You wake up every single day filling up other people's cups, but who's gonna fill your cup up? That little voice in my head was telling me maybe you should just sit this one out, call off PTO, prepare to others, tell them you ain't coming. You know, maybe you've already said too much. Excuse me, done too much, tried too hard. And for a moment, y'all, I believed it. Even after I got up and got showered and got dressed, I came into my office and I just sat here and stared at the mic. I sat here staring at my notes, sat here looking at the affirmations on my desk, reminding me of my purpose. Hey, Blue. And then, y'all, I promise y'all, I almost turned the lights off and walked away. But something shifted. Something shifted in me, like right in that moment, right before I quit, almost quit, y'all. But before I almost turned the lights off, packed it up, went back to bed. Something shifted. And I heard a whisper in my spirit. And it wasn't a loud whisper. It wasn't a dramatic one. It was just a quiet voice that said three words to me that made me push the button today to go live. The voice said, show up anyway. And I'm like, what you mean show up anyway? I'm tired. I'm not getting, the results and things like that. And it doesn't look like I expected it to look. And things aren't going the way that I want them to go. And it's like, show up anyway. Not for perfection, not for applause, not because you have it all together, but because someone out there feels exactly how you do right now. And all of a sudden I thought, if I don't speak up, then maybe that person might feel like they're alone today. So I stayed. I pushed the button. And y'all, I didn't press record with confidence today. Right? Usually I press the button and I'm confident because I know what I got to do and I understand the mission. Right? But I didn't press that button today with confidence. I did it with conviction. I didn't speak today from a mountaintop. I'm speaking to you right in my middle. The right now, in real time, with my own doubts in the rearview mirror, but my purpose is riding shotgun, right? My purpose is still in the front seat, going somewhere with me. And listen, I know when we think about purpose, sometimes our purpose feels like a burden because it requires us to work, right? But purpose only feels like a burden until you remember that it is a gift. And when it comes to life coaching and motivational speaking, I know that I'm called to do this, right? But today it just felt heavy. And I think that a lot of us probably need to hear this. Just because you're called doesn't mean you're always going to feel good when you do it. Sometimes your purpose will stretch you until it makes you cry. But when you sit with yourself long enough, you start to remember things. And this morning, as I sat here, running 40 minutes late, I remembered that somebody needs to hear that it's okay to not be okay. That somebody needs to see what real perseverance looks like. Not polished, not present. And I also remembered that somebody needs to know that even their coach, their mentor, their guide has days where she wants to quit too. Choosing to stay isn't about never having these moments, right? It's about making a decision that fear doesn't get to have the final word. So here I am, still standing, still breathing, still healing right beside you. And I don't come here pretending to have all the answers. But what I do have is this moment. I had a microphone and I have a message. And so today, my message is just simply to let you know that you're not alone and that I'm glad you didn't give up today. If, you know, if you're the one who's listening right now, who felt like giving up, whether it was today, recently, you can think about a time when you just felt like giving up. I want you to drop some green hearts in the chat because I want to make sure that I'm speaking to the right people today. I want you guys to understand that you are not weak for feeling tired. You are not failing because you're human. You are not behind because you break down. Sometimes the most powerful thing that you can say is I stayed. So I'll be the first to say it. I stayed. I stayed. Through all the highs, through all the lows, through all the doubts, I stayed. And I'm glad that you did too. See, I know that there's a moment in every single journey, whether it's healing, building, parenting, creating, caretaking, or just trying to make it through the day. There's this moment in the journey where you hit the wall. Hey, goddess. And I'm not talking about a physical wall. I'm talking about an emotional wall, right? A mental wall, a spiritual one. And again, that was me today. It's like I woke up and I felt it immediately in my chest. The heaviness, the dread, the ache that I cannot do this today. I can't Monday, right? I opened my phone, I stared at my to-do list, I looked at my messages, my responsibilities, and I was just like, I don't really have it in me today. And so I felt defeated even before I got out the bed. And for a split second, I let the doubt creep in. What if I just stop? What if I just disappear for a little while? They're not going to notice. Nobody's going to know. Right? What if I walked away from all this pressure, all this expectation, all this noise? Because again, let's be honest, when you are carrying a dream, a purpose, or even just your own survival, there are going to be days when the weight of it is just too much to carry. Welcome in, Buddha. There's going to be days where you look in the mirror and you don't even recognize the reflection that is staring back at you. When you question the work, when you question your worth, where you question yourself. And so again, today I'm talking to the people who can relate to that, who feel that. And so again, right now, if that person is you, I just want you to know that you are not alone. And I don't know how many times I can tell you, you're not alone. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're not ungrateful. You're tired. And that's real. See, you've been showing up. You've been giving. You've been trying to hold it all together for everyone, including yourself. And sometimes the desire to quit isn't about not caring. It's about caring too much for too long without a break. And so again, that's just where I was this morning. I set up and honestly, I just wanted to cry. And I think that my soul cried. Even though the tears didn't leave my eyes, I feel like my soul just cried this morning. Um But I let that moment just be a moment, an honest moment in my day. And in that quiet breakdown, like I said, something powerful happened. That reminder, that call to action, that whisper, show up anyway. And so sometimes when we get quiet and we feel what we need to feel, spirit will reveal something to us and it'll say something. And this morning, spirit reminded me, just show up anyway. Show up anyway, because there's purpose even in pain. That choosing to stay in the fight even when you feel weak, it's a form of strength. So no, you can't quit. Miss Sherry, don't quit. I almost did, right? I think oftentimes we skip to the good parts, right? We just skip right to the good parts, that happy ending. We jump right to the success story and we skip over the struggle, what it took for us to get there. But this is where healing lives. And these transparent moments. This is where transformation starts. In the raw moments, at the breaking point. at the I don't know how long I'm going to be able to get through this confession. I'm positive you cannot quit. You cannot. I will not let you. So there's this thing. Anytime I get to this point, I always start thinking of not yet. Right. And it's so funny because Blue over here, like, you sure I can't quit? Not yet, sis. There's a power in those two words, not yet. You're not done yet. And I feel like these are two words that are the most underrated, underappreciated, but deeply powerful words in any healing journey. When people be like, "Are you done healing?" Not yet. Are you over it? Not yet. Can I quit now? Not yet. Right? Y'all type not yet in the chat for me. Not yet. These aren't fireworks, right? And fireworks and faith kind of words. These words don't shout. These words don't trend. These words don't even usually make the highlight reel, but they are steady words. They are consistent words, right? They are sacred words. And honestly, if you think about it, those two words save lives. Because sometimes the greatest act of courage isn't a loud comeback. Sometimes it's just the whisper, "I'm not done yet." I wanted to quit today, but I didn't. Not yet. I don't feel strong, but I haven't stopped. Not yet. I'm not healed, but I'm still trying. Not yet. See, when you're in a season of stretching, growth doesn't always feel like growth. Sometimes it feels like resistance, like exhaustion, like everything is harder than it should be. But over the years, I've learned that breakthrough is often born right after that "I almost gave up" moment. The moment you felt the most tempted to quit is usually the moment when you're the closest to something new, something sacred. And so when you say not yet to quitting, you're giving your future self a chance to catch up, right? When you say not yet, you are giving your future self the opportunity to catch up to your current struggle. I'll break it down. So you're saying, "I may not see the blessing yet, but I'm still open to it. I still believe in it. I may not feel the healing yet, but I'm not closing the door because I deserve this. I may not feel joy yet, but I'm creating space for it to return." That's powerful. That's faith. That's healing in motion. And so when the world says give up, let your soul scream, "Not yet." You ever notice how quiet healing actually is? It's unglamorous and it can feel lonely. But somehow, somewhere deep within, there's this divine flicker of hope. Even when the lights go out on your spirit, there's this pilot flame inside of you whispering, "Keep going. Show up anyway. Just one more breath. Just one more day." And you don't have to leap every time. Thank you. You don't have to jump into it every single time. Sometimes the win is just not walking away. Sometimes not yet is your boundary between the breakdown and the breakthrough. Thank you, Miss Sherry. Have an amazing day, love. Sometimes it's your way of saying, "I still believe that there's something on the other side of this pain. I still believe that there's something worth fighting for." What not yet really means is, let me think about this for a moment. Not yet doesn't mean that you're stuck. Okay? Not yet does not mean that you're stuck. It means that you're becoming. It means you haven't fully bloomed yet. It means that you haven't met the right people yet. It means you haven't walked into your calling yet. You haven't healed that heartbreak yet. But you will. And every single time that you choose to stay, every time that you choose to breathe, every time that you choose to rest, but not retreat, you're honoring the version of yourself that is becoming, that is still unfolding. Again, I remind you, you are not behind. You are in process. You are in the middle of a miracle. You're not late. You're in alignment. You are not lost. You're just in that fog before the clarity. And the next chapter of your story, it needs your presence, not your perfection. You just got to keep showing up. Just your breath, just your truth, just your heartbeat. So, right now, I just want to take a moment to just pause, right? To invite you to just take a breath, check in, ask yourself, what have I overcome that I never thought I would? What tasks are still unfinished but are sacred to me? Where do I need to whisper not yet instead of screaming I give up? I also want to remind you that to date, just in case you haven't noticed, you have 100% survived every single thing that was meant to destroy you. Every single obstacle, every single roadblock, every single weapon that was formed against you. To date, you have 100% survived it all. So let that reflection guide your next steps. Not the pressure that you feel, not the fear, but the grace of knowing that you don't have to have it all figured out today. You just have to keep showing up. Show up anyway. Even if your presence is shaky, even if your motivation is low, even if your faith is running on fumes, show up anyway. That's where the healing happens. That's where the magic begins. Take a deep breath with me. Inhale through your nose. Exhale from your mouth. Again, inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. And as you continue to breathe, I want you to remember to inhale the thought that not yet is still a step forward. And when we exhale, we think, I am becoming who I was born to be, who I was meant to be. Hmm. Let's talk about the shift that takes place with that not yet. That moment where your soul makes the decision, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Because you recognize, not yet. I'm not done yet. I'm not finished here yet. Not because you feel strong, but because you refuse to let go of what is sacred to you. That moment when you whisper to your fear, when you say, I hear you, but you're not the star of the show today, right? I hear you, doubt, but you are not in charge. Take a back seat. See, the shift that we go through in our healing journey, it isn't loud, but it is intentional. It's not a big Instagram worthy post. It's not always a new job or a big move or some picture perfect breakthrough. Sometimes in our healing journey, the shift looks like getting out of bed when your heart is heavy. It looks like drinking water when depression tells you it's pointless. Sending a message for help when you've been sitting there suffering in silence. Sometimes it's smiling at your reflection even when it's forced. Saying no when you are so used to saying yes just to keep the peace. Sometimes it's just logging off of social media so you can tune back into yourself. You see, the shift doesn't mean that the pain disappears. It means that you're learning to hold space for the pain without letting the power take hold of you. That's what healing is. You're choosing to stay when you could have left. You're choosing to fight for your mental peace, for your boundaries, for your joy, even when no one else knows or could possibly understand how hard it is. I call that the sacred rebellion, right? That's choosing yourself in a world that benefits when you don't. And I want y'all to hear me clearly. There's nothing weak about needing rest. There's nothing wrong with people who choose to take a pause. But when you decide to get up anyway, when you decide to try again anyway, that's so revolutionary. Every time you stay present with your process, you are disrupting generational cycles. You are rewriting a narrative for yourself and for everyone watching you to heal out loud. Your staying power is bigger than just you. And so when you're going through a shift in your life, you have to understand it's about alignment. It's not about the hustle. You don't have to grind yourself into the ground just to be worthy. You don't have to prove your value through your exhaustion. And you absolutely don't have to chase people, platforms, or perfection to deserve peace. The shift is not about working harder. It's about working smarter. It's about coming into alignment with the true you, right? Understanding what is your truth. It's about asking, what do I need in this moment? What version of me is still trying to emerge? Honestly, it's asking yourself, am I honoring my healing or am I hiding from it? Because choosing to stay isn't about pushing through things blindly. It's about staying present long enough to hear what your spirit has been trying to say. Show up anyway. And you know what? Sometimes it whispers, sometimes it cries, sometimes it screams, but it's always trying to lead you back to yourself. And whether you realize it or not, if you're still here, still breathing, still listening to this podcast, then you haven't given up hope. And hope isn't fluffy, right? Hope is gritty. Hope is showing up to fight with scars and bruises and tears and refusing to lay down, refusing to sit down, to just take whatever. Hope says, I don't know how, but I believe that something better is coming. I'm not healed yet, but I'm willing to keep working towards my wholeness. I may not be okay right now, but I am not giving up on myself. That's what choosing to stay means. And whatever staying looks like for you, I just need you to know this. And I'm going to keep saying it. You're not weak for needing a break. You are powerful for choosing to keep going with intention. Even if it's slow, even if it's messy, even if it's unrecognizable right now, every single small step you take is sacred. Let's get practical for a moment. If you are listening right now and today feels heavy, here are 5 things that you can do instead of quitting. Because I know some of you still just want to quit. But here are 5 things that you can do instead of quitting. Number 1, pause. Pause. Breathe, step back and rest. Just take a pause. Good for you, Cardi. Cardi pressed pause today. Number 2, vent. Vent. Talk it out, journal it, hell, cry about it. Get it out of your body. Let it go. So we're going to pause, we're going to vent, and then I want you to reconnect. Number 3 is reconnect. Specifically, reconnect to your why. Why did you start in the first place? Who are you becoming? What is your purpose? Who are you evolving into? Reconnect to your why. Number 4, celebrate. Celebrate. Around here, we celebrate all wins, even the tiny ones. Remember, you are further than you think. You've survived so much more than you thought you ever could. So celebrate that. And then lastly, number 5, ask for help. Ask for help. You don't have to carry this alone. As my niece would say, period. You don't have to carry this alone. Ask for help. And you know what? I'm going to add a bonus. I'm going to add a bonus for you. Pray, meditate, be still. Let your soul speak louder than your struggle. So, yes, we are going to pause, vent, reconnect, celebrate, ask for help, pray, meditate, be still. Ruth says it's not always easy to vent because you can't trust everyone is trustworthy. I definitely feel that. And Ruth, the thing is, that's because who we have vented to in the past, they burnt us, right? We got trust issues with people now, which is why I added that bonus to pray and to meditate. Because even when man lets you down, even when people fail you, there's always a higher spirit, a higher being, right? Who will always listen, who's not going to judge you, who's not going to condemn you. So that's where we pray and we meditate. But then we also learn through this prayer and this meditation that the problem wasn't that we had to get something off our chest. The problem wasn't that we decided to vent. It was that we chose to vent, not realizing that the people on the other side of that vent can hear you. So we chose the wrong people to vent to, the wrong people to trust. And so that's why I always tell people, as a life coach, I'm the best friend you didn't know you needed to have. Right? Your life coach, oh, that's bestie right there. Your therapist, oh, that's bestie right there. See, those are the people that you get to say things to. And listen, their lips are sealed. Especially when you find the ones that really, really, really love their job. Because honey, they don't want nothing to take that from them. So they can't vent. They can't discuss it. Right? So if you feel like that in the past that you vented to, people who then violated your trust, that's just because unfortunately you confided in the wrong people. And hey, there's nothing wrong with that. You're human. We don't know until we know most of the time, right? We learn the lesson the hard way. So even before I tell people to seek a life coach or seek a therapist, I specify and I truly highly suggest that you pray about it and that you meditate on it. Sit with it for a moment. Those feelings that you have, the trust issues that you have, you need to pray about it. You need to sit with it. So then that way the universe can guide you to the right people. That goes back to letting your soul speak louder than your struggle. So again, in this moment, sis, you pray and you meditate. And I know you know how to do that, Ruth. Okay? You pray, you meditate, and you be still. Let the universe guide you to the safe space, the places that you can trust. So then you can pause and vent and reconnect. That way you're in the space where you are celebrated. And then you'll be comfortable to ask for help. So I wrote down a few affirmations this morning that I wanted to share with you. Because, like I said, today was my I quit day. Right? I was gonna quit today, y'all. So I had to pull out a few affirmations to get me motivated, and I thought, why not share it? Why not? Why not share it with the people too? Since I'm sharing my story, I'm gonna tell y'all how I got through it today. What made me push the button today? And so, these are affirmations. I frequently go to these. And so you guys can make a little note for yourself that these are affirmations for the days you want to quit. Number one, I remind myself that even on the hard days, I'm still growing. Even on the hard days, I'm still growing. Even on the hard days, I'm still growing. Next, remind yourself that your rest is not a retreat, it's a recharge. My rest is not a retreat, it's a recharge. My rest is not a retreat, it's a recharge. I am allowed to struggle without surrendering. I am allowed to struggle without surrendering. I am allowed to struggle without surrendering. Everything I have overcome has prepared me for what's next. Everything I've overcome has prepared me for what's next. Everything I have overcome has prepared me for what's next. This one is one of my favorites. I don't need permission to keep going. I only need faith. I don't need permission to keep going. I only need faith. I don't need permission to keep going. I only need faith. And lastly, I wanted to quit, but I didn't. And that makes me powerful. I wanted to quit, but I didn't. And that makes me powerful. I want you guys to say these throughout the week. Let them live in your spirit. Write them down so that way you see them when you first wake up in the morning, so you can affirm yourself to make it through the day. Remind yourself that even on the hard days, you are still growing, that your rest is not a retreat, it's a recharge, that you are allowed to struggle without surrendering, that everything you've overcome has prepared you for what's to come, for what's next, and that you don't need permission to keep going. You only need faith. You wanted to quit, but you didn't. And that makes you powerful. Family, before we head out of here today, I want you to take another deep breath with me. And I'm not talking about the shallow kind of breath when we're rushing or surviving. I'm talking about a real one, y'all. A real soul cleansing breath. That kind of breath that says, I'm still here and I matter type of breath. And when we inhale, we're going to say, I can do hard things. And when we exhale, we're going to say, I don't have to do them alone. Breathe in through your nose. I can do hard things. Exhale. I don't have to do them alone. Breathe in. I can do hard things. Exhale. I don't have to do them alone. Breathe in. I can do hard things. Exhale. I don't have to do them alone. One more time. Inhale. I can do hard things. Exhale. I don't have to do them alone. That heaviness that you feel, that tension that you feel in your chest, that is not weakness. It is resistance. And resistance is what shows up when something birthed through you. You are growing in real time. And we know this is not, some days healing, some days the waiting tests you. Some days you feel absolutely invisible. You're carrying a light that could actually that sets others free. So hear me when I say this, and hear me clear when I say this. Just because it's hard doesn't mean it's wrong. Just because it's uncomfortable doesn't mean it's not working. The pressure under it in you, resilience, wisdom, compassion, power. And if you quit now, you'll never see the version of you that this pain is producing. You might not see it yet, You might still feel like a mess. You might still be crying in the bathroom between your breakthroughs, but you are becoming. Every time you choose grace instead of guilt, every time you choose rest, every time you breathe instead of breaking, you are evolving. You are healing. You are rising. And I need you to know this. Not too late. You are not too broke. You are not too far gone. You are right on time for your own transformation. Don't in the middle of your miracle. It's okay to pause. It's okay to cry. It's okay to scream, group, whatever you do, but don't quit. What you've been crying for, what you've been still possible. You didn't come this far just to come this far. So whenever doubt creeps in and your body says just give up and your heart whispers just rest forever, I want you to answer back with your breath. Not yet. Your breath is your power. It's your protest and it's your reminder that life still moves through you. As long as your lungs can fill with air, it's still moving through you. Even when everything else feels stuck. So this week, when it gets hard, and it might, I want you guys to remember today. I want you to remember this episode, remember this moment, remember how you almost gave up, but you didn't because something inside of you screamed, not yet. And if you need to carry with you, let it be this. Quit on the version of me that is waiting on the other side of this. I quit on the version of that is waiting on the other side of this. I will not quit on the version of me that is waiting on the other side of this. I encourage you to keep going, family. Not because it's easy, but because you're worth the work. Because the world needs what's inside of you. You've already made it through 100% of your hardest days. And this one, you're going to get through it too. So breathe through the resistance and stay. Someone asks you, why haven't you just given up yet? Why haven't you quit? You just tell them, not yet. There's more for me. My journey is not over yet. If this is, please drop a green heart in the chat. Type, I'm still here if you're choosing to keep going this week. If you've made it this far in the podcast, just type, I'm still here. Right? We all deserve that, Antoine Fisher. We still here, y'all. We're still standing. Even in the where we didn't want to, we are still here. Still standing, still fighting. And if nobody, I see you. I believe in you. And I am proud of you. We're all in this together, guys. We're in this, and our story is not over. Now, as we wrap up today's episode, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for joining me. enjoyed our time together. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel so that way you never miss out on a moment of what's to come. If you are interested in being a featured voice on our podcast, we would love to hear from you. Please reach out to me today, details, and schedule your recording session. And don't forget to head over to our website at theselfcareclub.org. There you could free one-on-one personalized coaching session. We also have affirmative apparel and other motivational merch, as well as free resources designed just for you. So whether you are looking to elevate your self-care game or you just need a little extra inspiration to get, know that we've got you covered. And every one of you for being a part of the self-care. And I look forward to connecting with you all again soon. But until next time, I encourage you to keep breathing, stay positive, and remember that you will always be supported here at the Self. So don't be afraid. Take up space and make a little room to breathe. I pray that you have an amazing day on purpose, nothing but. And remember, it's not over. Not yet. Thank you.